Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Booth. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up Adobe Audition CS6 to record a live worship session or record anything using an external audio interface or digital mixer. So when I was recording the behind the scenes for the live worship recording that I did with Audition CS6, I forgot to do the screen recording to show you how I set up the computer to talk to the mixer and to recognize that mixer as an audio interface. So now I'm going to show you that part of the setup using this audio interface. This is a Tascam IU2. Think of it as representing the mixer that I used. This is a basic audio interface with some inputs, the control section, and the output section. But the setup is exactly the same. You connect it to the computer via a USB cable. And once you connect it to the USB cable, the computer should be able to pick it up. So this is the setup we're going for. We have your audio sources like your microphones and your instruments. These are plugged into your audio interface or your digital mixer. The audio interface or digital mixer is connected to your monitors. This could be your speakers in the house, or this could be your headphones. And then the mixer or interface is connected to your computer via USB cable. The connection between your audio interface or your digital mixer and the computer enables the computer to see the audio interface and then your software to actually see the individual tracks. And then your audio recording software, in this case I was using Adobe CS6, but this works for anything else, Adobe Audition CC, Cubase, Pro Tools, anything that you're using, you'll be able to set up your tracks and record those tracks individually for each instrument or each audio source that is connected. For you to be able to see what hardware is connected to your computer, you need to go to your audio settings. On a Mac, you would go to System Preferences and then Audio. On a PC, you'd go to your settings and look for the audio settings, and you'll be able to see the audio devices that are connected. Let's take a look at what's available on this computer right now before we set up the audio interface. So if you go to your System Preferences, you can see that all I have for input is the internal microphone, and all I have for output are the internal speakers of the computer and this device that is USB enabled that I can use. So you just have these internal speakers. Now let's go to the input and watch what happens when I connect my interface. So there it goes. It immediately shows up IU2 USB, and I have Audition open, and so let's skip there, and it says the list of audio devices connected to the operating system has been changed. Do you want to open audio hardware preferences? And that just means that Audition is seeing this audio interface now and wants me to make a decision on whether I want to use this or continue using whatever I was using the last time. So I will say yes, I want to go to hardware preferences. Let me cancel this. You can also get to the hardware preferences by Audition Preferences, and you go to audio hardware to take you to the same place. This first part you can just leave it as it is, but as you're setting up your recording, you have to change these sections. So the default is the built-in microphone to this machine, but I want to use my i2. So I click to i2, and it just gives me a warning that whatever session is open is going to have everything changed, inputs and outputs, and that's fine. Now I can choose to listen to what I'm recording using the default built-in output. So I can listen to what I'm recording through the computer, or I can change that as well to IU2. It's recommended that your input and output be the same device, just to avoid any problems that might arise. So what I'm saying by changing that to input and output, it means I am recording through here and I'm monitoring what I'm recording through the same device. So I would plug in my headphones into this device. Now here's the second thing that you need to attend to, and that is your buffer size. Buffer size determines how long a lag there is between, let's say, if you are singing into a microphone and recording it, and you hearing that signal through your monitoring. So there's a small lag between when someone sings at the microphone, it comes in through this device, and then you hear it if you're monitoring on your headphones. Now the default is quite fine. The larger the buffer size, the more the latency or delay, and the lower the buffer size, the less the latency or delay. The trade-off is that when you have a very low buffer size, it puts a very high strain on your CPU and RAM, but it is good for recording or tracking where your instrumentalists or your vocalists are trying to play along to something that has already been recorded and they need to be in sync with that recording. The larger buffer sizes are good for mixing, where you're adding in a lot of plugins and effects. It puts less strain on your computer. Now this is very important. You have to make sure that your sample rate that you're recording at is the same as the sample rate that is set on your device. So in this case, it's giving me a default of 48,000 Hertz or 48 kilohertz. You have an option in CS6 of 3 sample rates, but that sample rate has to match your recording device or your digital mixer. And the way you check is you go to settings. When you click on settings, it opens up a different control, a different dialog box. Did it come? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Now this is the dialog box for your device, and it shows you the settings, and it says the format is 2 channels, 24-bit integer at 48 kilohertz. Close that. It says 48. You're good to go. The sample rates are matching. If the sample rates do not match, then you have all sorts of audio dropout as you record. And then you just click OK. Get out of that and you are ready to go. When you're recording in Audition, you work in the multi-track mode. So you can see here it says View Multi-Track Editor. So you click on that and it prompts you to name the session. So we're going to name this session Test Setup. It also asks you where you want to save your files. So you can browse. For this test, I can just put it on the desktop. But I would recommend that you do not record anything onto your system drive, but instead have an external drive where you record your session. But for this test, it's just on the desktop. You can see everything here is set up. Yeah, I'll just leave everything default. I'm just doing a simple setup, so I'll go OK. And you're immediately presented with a 6 tracks of audio that you can record to. At this point, you are nearly done. You still need to now go in and tell Audition where your sound is going to be coming from. So if you have a 16-track mixer and all 16 tracks have got something plugged in there that you want to record, then you would set up all your 16 tracks. In this case, because we're using this small device, we only have 2 tracks that we can work with. And so you look at this, it says track 1. You can label the track. So let's say this is a guitar. This is very important because whatever you now record will be labeled guitar on your hard drive. And then I go now, this, you see the small arrow says input, it says default. I can click there and I can see mono or stereo. Usually we record in mono, and it gives me the option of left and the right. These are the 2 tracks that we have available on this small mixer. So maybe I'm going to plug in a guitar on the left channel, and then on the second channel I'm going to plug in my microphone. So I'm recording 2 inputs, a guitar and someone playing a guitar and singing at the same time. So I go to inputs, do mono, and I set that to this and you're ready to go. Recording your audio in this way allows you to go back and be able to mix that audio and also add effects so that you have much better sounding audio than you would have otherwise. So see you next time on Tech Booth. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content that will help you in your worship services.